Let me ask you a question. Are you okay with who you are right now? I know that you're here to hear about anime, not just question your entire existence. But hear me out. Stick around, even if you're trying to avoid this question. There are many animes that could lead us into this question, but there's one that stands out the most for me: Mob Psycho 100. When I first came across Mob, I saw the trailer. One Punch Man had just finished, and I learned that this series was from the same author. His name is One. I initially thought that it was going to be a copycat of One Punch Man, that One surely ran out of ideas. He was just trying to pursue success by being a one-trick pony, but I couldn't be more mistaken. Mob first came out as a webcomic published on the magazine Euro Sunday in 2012. I know that I always bring up the topic when I see that the art quality is not as high, but once more, I don't do this to diminish the series or the author at all, but the opposite. Even though One isn't the perfect artist, he showed through this manga that you can draw stick figures and still tell your story and make it resonate with people as I did with me. I started watching the series one evening because I had nothing better to do. And the first episode, I was immediately hooked. This is the story of Shigeo, a regular student who has no social skills, is terrible at sports, has no luck with girls, and pretty much everyone dismisses him. But he's the most powerful psychic in the face of the earth. And even though it sounds very similar to One Punch Man, the only thing that they have in common is their immense power level. But this is addressed in complete different ways. Saitama acquired the ultimate power through training and considers everything to be boring, because there isn't fun without a challenge. But that's a story for another video. On the other hand, Mob was born this way. He has been incredibly powerful since he was a child. He could conquer the universe if he wanted. If anyone else had his power, they would have the world under their thumb already. But Shigeo is different. He decided to work for Reagan. This is the most hilarious character in this series. He's Shigeo's mentor and owner of a store that provides exorcist services. He's the one that calls him Mob.
あ、モブモブバカモブモブモブモブモブモブモブモブおいモブモブモブだろうがモブ
He hired Mob to show him how to use his powers, and did do fairly well. Due to Reagan's ability to trick people with his words to make them believe he's the best psychic in the business, but he has no powers. However, Mob does, so he gets the clients and Mob gets the job done, while he claims that he would only take care of the strong ones. It's really funny to see the situations that Reagan gets while trying to cover his lack of powers and keep his shady business running. On top of this, there's an organization called Claw. They're gathering strong psychics in order to conquer the world. I'll leave that part to you, so if you haven't watched the series yet, I won't spoil the experience. And if you already saw it, you know what happens. I want us to focus on the character development that Mob has. So let's analyze the protagonist. Mob is a regular boy. He's in 8th grade, and he is boring, too dumb for school, not as good as his younger brother, he's easy to take advantage of, bear with me, he's bad at sports, and he has no social skills. After this description, why should we care about a character like him? He sounds like the worst protagonist ever. He has too many weaknesses, so why is he important? Before answering that, have you ever heard of Superman? So let's compare him with Shigeo. Likeable, intelligent, the last of his kind, leads the League of Justice, bear with me. He knows alien martial arts. He has a good phrase for every situation.
For what? For what it's worth, I don't think you could have taken Batman either.
And yeah, he gets weak when a little rock called Kryptonite is around. As you can see, Mob's character was built out of flaws, and Superman out of his strengths. So why is this relevant? Glad you asked.
Exactly, but DC invents this character Superman, who's good at everything. You know, he's just like, he's super strong, he has supervision, he just, anything you name it, he can do it.
That's his Achilles heel. He is so unstoppable that they had to later on invent kryptonite because the stories were nobody cared.
There was
they didn't worry
exactly.
about him.
How can you write a story about a guy who always can do anything
right.
better than anybody
You
else?
almost can't.
The readers were getting bored by him because perfection is not a reflection of humanity. And one, the author for One Punch Man, and in this case, Mob Psycho 100, knows this very well. That's why Mob is important. We have a character with as many flaws as we have, but his strength, which are his psychic powers, are actually Mob's burden. Mob was born as the most powerful psychic. He didn't earn his powers through trials or training. They were just given to him. And sometimes, what we're just given, without working for it, could become a burden if it's not handled properly. In this case, when Mob was a kid, he hurt his younger brother accidentally. He didn't know his strength or the limits of his powers. This is showing us that we can handle the unknown. We can handle some that were just received without any effort. Since that incident, Mob shut down his emotions to avoid anything like that from happening again. That is why he seems to be bored all the time. On top of this, he has never been the sharpest tool in the shed, so he's too dumb for school, unlike his younger brother, who does great at school and also is very good at sports. It's like his brother would qualify more than Mob to be the protagonist. And as we said, he has a love life of a potato, and he's not athletic at all. Now, can you relate with one or more weaknesses or characteristics that we covered so far? If you're like me, you may have a few, maybe all of them, maybe more, maybe none. But this is why I chose Mob to speak how to be yourselves. Starting with the author 1, with his basic drawings, to the soundtrack telling us to be ourselves like Mob.
If everyone is not special, maybe you can be what you want to be. Your life is your one again. 特別じゃなくても OK。それぞれの答え見つかる。
This has been an example for me to face my fears and become who I need to be, not what someone else is telling me to be. Going back to the character, Mob meets another psychic along the way, and he tries to start a fight. Shigeo could have defeated him in the blink of an eye, but he made a promise to his master. He wasn't going to be like his current enemy and use his powers to his advantage or against others.
ダメだ。人に向けたらダメだ。来るか。なんだよ。
It must suck to wake up every single day wishing you were someone else, but it takes guts to accept who you are and improve yourself. So, if someone has told you that you're born too dumb for school and not as good as your relatives, if someone has tried to take advantage of you, if you suck at sports and feel like a potato trying to talk to the person that you like, these anime is a must. Not to make you feel bad about yourself, but to show you, on a funny and unrealistic way, that you might be overlooking a great or undeveloped skill that you have. Some that only you believe in. Some that will lead you to stop pretending and become who you really are. I want to finish this video by quoting one of my favorite music writers of all time, Chris Cornell. The chorus to one of his songs says, I know this is not new, but this might be a thought bugging you in the back of your head. And if it takes a stranger to tell you that you can change the world believing in yourself, I'm glad they want to tell it. And if you watch Mob, hopefully you'll start to understand how to be yourself.